So let's start by reading our questions before we read the story. Question number 1. Here are some dictionary definitions of the word conductor. Okay, so they give us 4 definitions. Definition number 1, one who manages or controls. Definition 2, one who leads a band. Definition 3, one who takes tickets on a train or a bus. Definition 4, object that carries or transmits. So transmits means it sends it from one thing to another. Like when you text somebody, you send them a text message, you're transmitting a message from your phone to their phone. So you're sending it from one place to the other. A band, like people playing instruments and stuff, Messiah. And it says, which definition is closest to the way that conductor is used in the 4th paragraph? We're reading it together, not doing it together. You have to answer the questions. A, definition 1, B, definition 2, C, definition 3, or D, definition 4. So again, we're not answering them yet. We're just reading the questions before we read the story. That way we already are thinking of, what do I need to know to answer my questions? Question 2, what is the main idea of the 4th paragraph? So this is asking about just paragraph 4. No, Alexa. A, electrical appliances work because they have wires that carry. B, electricity can flow through some materials called conductors. C, insulators will not conduct electricity. Or D, your body is a conductor. Bailey, we're working on reading science. So you're going to find it in the Google Classroom. It's under the science topic. You're going to have to log into STEMscope. Yes, Jaylene. Yep. Yep. You want to read the questions before you read the story because you'll already kind of have like a sneak peek or a preview of what do I need to know or what do I need to find out. That way when you're reading, if you hear something or you read something that sounds familiar, you can go, that's one of my answers. And you'll kind of already be looking for them. Number 3, the diagram below the 4th paragraph shows blank. So diagram is just a picture that has labels on it, where they tell you this part is this, or this part is called that. A, how a light bulb works. B, the design of an appliance. C, the inside of an electrical cord. Or D, an unsafe cord. So they're asking what. So they're asking you what that diagram shows you. Question number 4. Which would be the safest place to be standing during a lightning storm? A, under an aluminum roof. B, in a pond. C, in a plastic shed. Or D, touching a copper statue. Question 5. If you were on the playground and saw an electrical cord that had fallen in the wind, the responsible choice would be to blank. A, pour water on it. B, use a stick to move it out of the way. C, find an insulator. Or D, tell an adult about it. So those are our questions. Let's go ahead and read our story now and start looking for those answers. The story is called Conductors and Insulators. Yes, Alexa. Okay, try reloading the page, Alexa. So it's called Conductors and Insulators. Electricity is all around us. It is helpful in many parts of our lives. It gives power to things we use every day. It lets us turn on the light. It lets us turn on the fan. It lets us watch TV. It lets us listen to the radio. Electricity plays a role in most of the things we do. But how does electricity work? Let's use the example of a lamp. Pretend that you're living that sorry, not that you're living. Pretend that you're in the living room. It's getting dark. Your mom asks you to turn on a light. You reach over and flip the switch, but nothing happens. You try again, but still nothing. What's wrong? You look down at the plug. You see that the lamp is not plugged in. That's it. You plug the cord in and try again. It works. Well, this is our fourth paragraph. And remember, one of our questions was asking about the fourth paragraph. So we want to pay special attention to this one. Why was the cord so important? Electricity cannot move by itself. It cannot jump from the outlet on the wall to the lamp on the table. It needs a conductor. A conductor carries electricity from one place to another. Conductors are made up of different metals. They can be made up of copper, iron, or steel. These metals carry electricity. One of them was probably in the cord that you plugged in. So then they show us this diagram here. On the inside, it's like a dark circle and it says conductor. Now we've got a lighter circle around the outside of that. It says insulator. And underneath it, it says diagram of insulator wrapped around a conductor. So whenever you have a cable, and let me just grab one real quick. So whenever you have a cable, like this one I've got here, the inside of it, and you can't see it because it's covered up with like white rubber. The inside of it has a conductor, and like they said, it's a metal. So usually they use things like copper, iron, or steel. In the case of most of the cables we have, it's probably copper. So there's little copper wires inside of here, but the outside, they wrap it up with something like rubber usually, because rubber is nice and flexible. Or sometimes like at the ends here, they might use plastic. That way, if I have my phone plugged in and it's charging, and I go to unplug my phone, I don't accidentally shock myself. That way, the electricity goes from my wall to my phone and not into me. So it's the way to do it safely is to put the conductor on the inside and the insulator on the outside. Our bodies can also carry electricity, so it would be a problem if these wires were bare. We might even get shocked. Scientists have found that there are materials that don't carry electricity. We call these insulators. We usually put wires inside of plastic or rubber. That way, we will be safe. Still, it is important to be careful around electricity. Sometimes the outside of an electrical cord can be messed up. If you can see the wires, this is not safe. If you see a cord like this, you should tell an adult. The adult can get rid of it. So sometimes, especially after we've used a cable for a really long time, and some of you might have seen this like on phone chargers you might have had, or if mom or dad had them. If you use them for a really long time, usually like where they bend and go into the wall, sometimes they'll start to break or crack and you'll see little pieces of wire sticking out. Once they get like that, you want to go and get a new cable. You don't want to keep using them if the little metal wires are sticking out. Then that makes them dangerous. You must also be careful when using electricity by water. Water and salt can also carry electricity. Our bodies have both of these. That's why our bodies are conductors. Electricity is amazing, but it can also be unsafe. One way to stay safe is to know about conductors and Insulators. So now that we've read our story, you can go ahead. Yeah, if you have a cover on it, that's okay, but if it's just with the wire sticking out, you definitely don't want to use it. Now that we've read our story, we can go ahead and go to these questions and answer them. When you've answered all of the questions, you can go ahead, and I think it says either turn in or submit, one of the two. But when you finish answering all the questions, you're going to click that button to turn in your answers.